Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Wednesday. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this world. Happy Wednesday. Sorry, I'm a I can't talk. Wardrobe malfunction. Oh. It's hump day. Hump day, hump day, hump day. It's hump day, so it's Wednesday, and not every Wednesday lately has been self-care Wednesday, but today is. My friend Susan posted something wonderful on Facebook the other day, and I saw it and I thought, you know what, this would make a really good self-care message. So that being, sorry, hair malfunctions, wardrobe malfunctions, all the things. So let's start with the Soul Truth deck, though, while I wait for some people to come on to the live, or anyone, or let's just start with these. So I don't know why I was just drawn to pull these today, and I really like them because they're the self-awareness cards. So let's see if we can, one more shuffle. Let's see what happens. Oh, I have way too many. So, apparently I put some cards in the wrong deck. So, oops. My bad. You know what's interesting though, right? Is that card is completely different from obviously it's the wrong deck. But I mean, look at the size, right? But what's interesting is this card is surrender. And yeah, when we talk about surrendering, it's, I think when we talk about surrendering, especially with self-care, we are thinking of it along the lines of giving up, giving in, but it's not. What it means is it's surrendering to the situation, to try to be able to look at it from the outside in, and to kind of just take control of it on our own. But excuse me one moment, it's like delivery time. Good morning, sibling.
Good morning.
Thank you. Woo. You're the bestest. I got coffee in my Aloha mug. Yayo. I know. Proud supporter of the LGBTQ. I'm an ally, guys. So is Sibling. Wow, Sibling's been an ally for quite some time. And she used her creamer. Thank you. Nom, 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 nom. It's almond joy. Oh, it's wonderful. Thank you. All right, so we're back. Like I said, it's a little bit something and a whole lot of everything. You never know what you're going to get. So I find it interesting that this card ended up in this deck because surrender is so huge. And it really is huge for self-care. Because like I said, we always think of it as being something where we give up, or we're not doing this, or we're not doing that. But you know what? Surrendering is just giving yourself a break. It doesn't mean you're quitting. It doesn't mean you're giving up. It means that you're basically surrendering to all the negative stuff inside of you and saying, you know what? I can't do this anymore. So I'm going to figure out how to flip this switch. So it's really about taking a step back. At least in my humble opinion, it is. So I don't think it's a mistake that card ended up in this deck. And the funny thing is, I haven't used either of these decks in a while. So the fact that it ended up in there and I decided to choose it today, someone's talking to you. All right. So actually, I'm going to do something here that I don't normally do. And we'll see how long it takes for my computer. Big Red he's not a youngin', so he takes a little while sometimes to boot up. But I have to tell you, I'm one of these people that if it's running great, I just keep dealing with it. I just go with it. So he's in computer years, Big Red's an old man now, but I love this computer. I love this laptop. So good morning, older sibling. See, now she's back downstairs and she's on the show. Yay! So, ooh, that's hot coffee. That's some good coffee there. So anyways, let me see. I'm not sure if I can open it at this moment, but, surrender is huge. Okay. And so here's the thing. If I'm unable to open the folder, because I got to find it and I don't want to waste all that time doing that. So I'm going to put it, once I find it, I'm going to put it in the comments. Okay. And, If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put it in the comments. If you're watching this on Facebook, it'll be in the comments eventually. All right. So it's from the Threads of Fate deck, and it's the Shadow Edition. And Shadow Edition, it's actually a Carl Jung phase. Carl Jung. Mr. Swedish, the Swedish doctor. So there's a Swedish chef and a Swedish doctor. But I'm kind of, I'm growing into becoming sort of what they call Jungians. So it's like, I'm a huge fan. I mean, I don't know much about him, except when I was doing my own shadow work, I happened to stumble upon him. And then baby sibling and one of her friends came out for a convention, and I met her friend, and we started talking about it. I was like, oh my God. So I knew I was on the right path with this. So I promise I will put it in there. Shadow work it's hard, but it is so wonderful because it really helps us get into the depths of our soul to heal it. All right. It's like cave diving into yourself. So let's get to these. The Soul Truth Awareness decks. What are the dominant emotions that run your life? What are the dominant emotions that run your life? How do you feel your day? Stress or joy? Trust or anger? Anxiety or peace? We have only today, right now, the journey. No goal, no destination will bring us the feeling we seek. But when we begin filling every day with that which we value most, we will attract more of it. This is fulfillment. Lean into what you want to feel and adjust your life, your values, and your expectations to match your desires. What do you want to feel? Are you willing to let go of the belief that you have to achieve something to feel it? So how fun is it that the surrender card comes up with this one? Because this is exactly what I was trying to explain. How are you feeling? Stress or joy? Blah, blah, blah. You have the choice to give in to whatever feeling you want to. If you want it to be negative, that's your choice. I wouldn't choose it, personally. I've done that for far too long. Doesn't work out well. Just makes you feel worse. And it's dumb. I'm not saying you're dumb. Giving into all of our negative stuff is dumb. So you're like, wow, you're a little harsh today. Yes, I have absolutely no filter the last couple of days. I'm kind of okay, this is going to sound terrible because I'm really not a bad person, but I'm kind of returning to the old me. Just this person that just kind of says whatever and thinks they're funny. Baby sibling calls me inappropriate older sibling, iOS, because, yeah, I tend to say things at the wrong time. Just to add humor, because sometimes you need to be that person that's going to punch a hole in whatever tension is happening. And that's what I'm here to do. I want to poke a hole in that tension, because you get to choose. You really get to choose how you want to feel. So that's really kind of your choice. Now, the next card. What am I looking for outside myself that is already within me? Are you looking for more guidance, confidence, peace, wisdom, love, or something else? When we search outside ourselves, we can become overwhelmed, frustrated, and never feel quite good enough. It's time to go inward to find everything you seek. All the answers you need lie within you. Today's soul action. Breathe in your favorite essential oil. Well, maybe you don't have any. Inhale deeply into your belly, drop your shoulders, and spend some time hanging out with your soul today. Ask for what you need and be ready for the answers. So if you're into the meditation thing, which I am, and you don't have to have essential oils, I mean, if you like the smell of your deodorant, just sniff that for a while. But I think these cards are obviously for people who do pull these for meditative purposes. So, yeah. So I'm just going to read the fronts of the rest of these cards. What if it was easy? If it was easy, I don't know. I literally had the thought in my head and it just went by. But if everything in life was easy, we would never learn anything. We'd never learn how, the joys of succeeding, because we would just be like, hey, I opened the door and poof, there it was. Right? I mean, even if you're manifesting, setting intentions, or praying, that's still working. Okay? Because you have to believe and you have to trust. And if you're doing any of these cards where it's like, do you have stress, or, what emotions are running your life? If the negative emotions are running your life, manifesting and setting intentions and praying, it's going to be hard, right? Because you're just like, oh, I can't get out of my brain, because you're not surrendering to, sometimes they'll say like surrender to your higher power, surrender to your higher self. Surrendering to your higher power or your higher self is basically saying, okay, I am putting my trust that everything is going to work out. I'm going to stop trying to control everything and just put my trust in the hands of either my higher self or my higher power, whichever, works for you, whatever your your faith falls into. And to me, that's kind of sort of, I know I've given you all kinds of interpretations, but it's just kind of working itself out in my head. I mean, this is why I didn't do a show yesterday, because I had like Shelly ADD yesterday. And no, I'm not making fun of people with that, because on occasion I do get so overwhelmed that, but I wasn't overwhelmed. I couldn't put two thoughts together yesterday, and it was hilarious. I mean, being out there on the road, I'm pretty sure somebody yelled at me, because, even that was just an adventure. But, and I'm a good driver too, so see, we all have these days. We all have these days. I'm not tooting my own horn, I'm just telling you what other people tell me. So, there you go. Look like a Muppet there. But I love the Muppets. See? That's what I mean. Squirrel! This is why I love this show. Because, I never know I never know which Shelly is going to show up. And by that, I mean, it's like, okay, you know what? It is Self-Care Wednesday, so I'm just going to share something really quick. Because I'm looking at this card right now. From whom can I release my judgment right now? From whom can I release my judgment right now? Some time ago, I just have a very boisterous personality. Oh, there you go. Older sibling says, if everything was easy, we would be born with a brain full of knowledge and not have anything to learn. Oh, not have to learn anything. And that's true. I mean, I'm a person that loves learning stuff. I love reading. Sometimes people go down the rabbit hole of negativity on social media. A lot of times I just get, wrapped up in like people sharing history stuff, right? I belong to this group on Facebook, and they share a lot of stuff like on English history, British history. And it's so fascinating. And every so often, someone who's not from Britain will share something of their country's history, or even, someone who's from here in the United States will share something from our history. But it doesn't matter how many times I see this. It's just like, wow. Like the other day, I was watching Lost in the Pond on YouTube. The guy is hilarious. He's from Britain, but he's married to an American, and he lives in the Midwest. But it's funny though, because he's like, this is what life is like in the suburbs of the United States. It's like, no, dude, every state is like its own state or its own country, where it's like 50 little countries combined into one big country. And but he was talking about oh god, see, this is what I mean. Yesterday I could not form a thought. Today I can't keep them. But oh, he was talking about the Liberty Bell and how he went to see it. I would love to see the Liberty Bell. I mean, I like I said, I love history. I love my country. I mean, I think I would love to be British too. I'd be a dual citizen, but like he is. But I had no idea that the bell was actually made in London. It was made in England. So it's like, oh. I mean, you would think I would know something like this, right? But I've never visited the bell. I've never really read a lot on it. I just know that at some point it was rang so much that it cracked. So, to which he said, which doesn't, what did he say? It doesn't reflect well on our skills. It's like, you know what? When you're excited and you're, well, we won't go down that road, because we're all friends now. Right, we're all friends. But from whom can I release my judgment? So my point is, I have a tendency sometimes to be a bit extra, as the kids nowadays would say. And it's not intentional. I just sometimes have this very boisterous personality. I mean, when I was young, I was so serious. I was really tense. I was like 17 years old, and my dad's all, you know what? He's all, I don't want to say this to be mean, but he's all, you really need to let loose and have some fun. He's all like, you walk around like you're an 80-year-old woman. I know. And so then I was like, oh my God. And I thought about it because I was so sad. And he was right. And not long ago, Dad and I were watching a home video from when I was like 17. And I had the most hunched shoulder. I told my dad, I said, look how I'm walking. I said, I look so sad. Like the whole world is on my shoulder. Well, I had trauma in those days, and I was just literally carrying my own world on my shoulders. So then I came out of this shell, I came out of this bubble, and most of my friends liked it, but nobody really cared, because it was, oh, that's Shelly, that's Shelly, that's Shelly. And but one day somebody says, oh my God, do you have an off switch? And I really wasn't being that Shelly that day, but I guess they were not having a good day. And yeah, I can be, a little much, I'm sure. But I turned the off switch off, and I never turned it back on. And I don't think we should do that. So when I read this card, from whom can I release my judgment right now? I want to release it from me. I want, you're starting to see my personality. Yeah, I'm kind of like Doug from Up, right? Squirrel. Like, I'm just talking, squirrel. And it's just how I am. And it doesn't make me a bad person. It doesn't mean anything's wrong with me. And even if there was something wrong with me, who cares? I mean, wouldn't we rather have the lively, happy, joyful people? I'm not lively, happy, and joyful all the time. But right now, it just feels good to feel this good again. I have spent so many years on this spiritual healing journey, and just trying so hard to battle against surrendering. When I finally surrendered to my negative side and said, look, I'm over this. I miss being this person I used to be. I want to be this person I used to be again. I'm going to go back and try to rediscover this person because people liked that person. But that's not why. Back then it was like, yay. And there was a bit of imposter syndrome, because when I was this person, I was also doing the fake it till you make it from time to time, to the point where I couldn't tell the difference between who I was anymore. The fake it till you make it, or the personality. But I like that personality. I like that fun side. And recently I was talking with one of my friends, and every so often, it's like we don't talk very often, but then he'll call up and we just talk for hours. That's what best friends are like. And he's like, oh, you know what? You remind me of this one girl on this show I'm watching, and blah, blah, blah. And I remember the first time I met you, and you were just like, hey, and then all hugs and blah, blah, blah. And I'm all like, that's the person I miss. That's the person I miss being. And I told him, I said, I think I kind of shut that down because, somebody told me, do you have an off switch? And he's like, who cares? And that's what I needed to hear. It should have been me telling myself that, but that's what I needed to hear. If somebody can't handle your personality, then maybe you need to walk away. Or maybe you need to tell them, look, you know what? You ain't perfect either. All right, so just let me be who I am. If I get too loud, just tell me, because there is a time and a place for everything. There is a time and a place for appropriate behavior. I'm generally not inappropriate in the right situations. I mean, I'm not sitting in the middle of a play going, hey, blah, blah, blah. No, I sit there, I just, but if I'm out having fun with friends, I might get a little crazy. And I can't help it. I have a loud laugh. The loud laugh in my family is just a thing. It's just a thing. And, I come from such a big family that if you want to be heard, you got to be loud. So, I know I'm an only child, but my family's huge. But, don't let people stifle your glow. Don't let people dull your sparkle. Don't let people, say, hey, do you have an off switch? It's like, you know what? I'll turn it down a bit for you, but hey, you don't have to be mean. There's a nicer way to say things. So, just be you. And when you say, from whom can I release my judgment right now, we shouldn't be judging anybody. All right, because remember, when you're pointing a finger, there are 3 little ones pointing right back at you. So, what is the saying? Judge not, lest ye be judged. So there you go. That was a long way around to Self-Care Wednesday, isn't it? So, all right, Self-Care Wednesday. Let's get to Self-Care Wednesday. Like I said, the other day, my friend Susan posted this on Facebook, and I loved it so much. I'm like, I've got to do this for Self-Care Wednesday. So it's called A Little Guide to Glimmers. Now, I added something at the bottom because I was actually surprised that this saying wasn't in this initial thing. But I think the person was maybe either not thinking about it or saying, hey, maybe they'll get the meaning at the end. Okay, so I'll read you what I wrote at the bottom, because I will read it I will tell you what I wrote at the bottom. So here it is, from my friend Susan. A little guide to glimmers. Glimmers are the opposite of triggers. They are tiny moments of awe. They spark joy and evoke inner calm. They have a positive effect on our mental health. They are micro moments causing tiny mood shifts. They send cues of safety to our nervous system. They bring feelings of ease and contentment. Our body responds with positive energy. They allow us to feel hope when lost. Our nervous system is strengthened by them. They can increase our well-being. Once we start embracing them, it can become a beautiful way to see the world around you. All right, and then I wrote, and if you think any of this is bullshit, remember how you felt the last time you had a glimmer of hope. Okay, that's what I'm surprised was not in one of those bullet points. Glimmer of hope. How many of us have heard that term? You know, oh my God, it was like a glimmer of hope. And it is, because no matter how negative or how dire a situation gets, there is always hope. You know, there was a homeless woman. I don't know, unhomed person. Is that what we're calling them now? There was a woman who was without a home. She had lost her mom. She pretty much had no family, and she was tired of being in the shelter. And there was a little bit of pride there, you know. We were talking a little bit yesterday. And, you know, she was just like sitting there, and she's like, but you know what? And she had faith, and she was like, you know what? But God is good. God always comes through one way or another. About half an hour later, a lady just walks by and says, here, I wanted to give you this so you can get something to eat later. And I thought, she didn't ask the woman. The woman just came by, you know, and it wasn't hard to make the assumption, but she just came by and she did this nice thing for this woman without being prompted, without anything. And this woman who was sitting there, who was the receiver of this kind gift, it was just a glimmer there. She left herself with a glimmer of hope, you know, and we were just talking about how hard life is and this and that. I think she just needed an ear. You know, she needed someone to hear her, to listen without, you know, just pushing her aside. And it was hard because it's like I did have somebody, I was hanging out with Cheryl yesterday, my friend Cheryl. And so it was a little hard, and I would just tell her, I'm really sorry. She's like, no, it's okay. But, you know, I think we both knew this, that she just needed someone to talk to. And now when I say my friend Cheryl, we were sitting at a Starbucks at the mall. So there was literally a big pillar. So they couldn't see each other. She could only see me, because on the side of the table I was sitting on. So that's why there was no interaction between them. But yeah, sometimes we have to hold that glimmer of hope. So like I said, and I literally wrote it, if you think any of this is bullshit, and the reason I put that in there is to really kind of drive the point home. I know a lot of people are like, oh, why do you gotta swear? You know what? That's just me. All right. I try not to do it all the time. I'm trying to do it less on the show, but, because I don't want to put anyone off, but that's just me. And I'm tired of stifling my personality because other people can't handle it. I am a fun person. I'm an outgoing person. Well, I'm getting back to that. I'm learning how to people again. Okay. So, and I can't blame it on COVID. I think COVID was good for me because I ended up doing a lot of shadow work, really, right? Because we're stuck at home. We can't do anything. So I really started going inward and started healing a lot of things that I didn't realize I needed to heal. But that kind of stifles your mood as well. And so, like I said, a couple months ago when my friend and I were talking, and it reminded me of this person that he remembers, I was just kind of like, man, where is that person? And I was grateful for that conversation. So we always have to look for that glimmer of hope. If you put your trust in your higher self, or whoever your higher power might be, you got to trust that. You got to surrender to that. You have to surrender all this negativity to them so they can take care of it, right? Your higher power. And I just say higher power because I know there are a lot of people who watch this, and there's a lot of different belief systems. I personally put my trust in God, but that's that's one of the people I turn to. Okay. But that's how I grew up. I grew up very Catholic, and I admit I'm a lapsed Catholic, but, my mommy would be proud that, you know, he's still the dude at the front of my spiritual table. I have quite a vast spiritual table, but I share that because I don't want people to be afraid or ashamed of their faith either. You know, we shouldn't be. I mean, yeah, there's some people that go a little overboard, and that's just them. Maybe that's what they need. That's where they focus. I know how I spend my time and how I choose to, and the person I choose to be. But like I said, we shouldn't stifle ourselves or hide who we are to please other people. We need to keep the glimmer of hope for ourselves. We need to remind ourselves that there is always a glimmer of hope. I wrote this down last night, because yesterday I was just so filled with worry and doubt and all this stuff. And then I had a nice visit with my friend, and, we went and had lunch, we had coffee, and I just wrote before I went to bed, find the positive no matter the outcome. Find the positive no matter the outcome. And then I wrote at the bottom, balance. Because you cannot have darkness without light, and you cannot have light without darkness. There is always that yin and yang. That's why it's black and white, right? Light and dark. And we sometimes lose that balance. Sometimes we see the darkness and we become so afraid of it that we run. But we have to face it, because that's where we find our deepest pains, our deepest hurts, our deepest traumas. And even if you didn't have any trauma growing up, there may have been something that hurt you. Maybe one person bullied you in your life. And people might say, oh, one person. But look, it took one person to say, oh my God, do you have an off switch? To just make me not want to be that person. And I admit I was probably extra hyper that night, because I don't drink as much caffeine anymore. So, even my coffee's decaf, per my doctor. But instead of just recognizing the fact that we were all having a great time that night, and yeah, I might have been extra hyper, it hurt me so much that I thought, oh my God, is this how people see me? And then I started judging myself. And I turned that switch off. And I turned that switch off for far too long. And so, like I said, I'm grateful for my friend for coming back in and saying, hey, you need to reignite that person, because she was fun. She was crazy, but fun. So, I'm going to read this one last time. All right. And remember, if you do not believe in any of this, just let that thought go. Just say, oh yeah, that's harder, that's blah, 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 that's BS, yada, yada, yada. When we say that, it's because we're afraid, maybe, that good things can happen. Embrace the good things. You are worthy. Self-love, self-worth, self-respect. All the good things that come at you, don't wait for the other shoe to drop. Okay, just enjoy the moment. Live in the now. All right? So, okay, I'm going to do this one last time and then we'll be done. A little guide to glimmers. Glimmers are the opposite of triggers. They are tiny moments of awe. They spark joy and evoke inner calm. They have a positive effect on our mental health. They are micro moments causing tiny mood shifts. They send cues of safety to our nervous system. They bring feelings of ease and contentment. Our body responds with positive energy. They allow us to feel hope when lost. Our nervous system is strengthened by them. They can increase our well-being. And once we start embracing them, it can become a beautiful way to see the world around you. So, sorry, I got a cat. Can you hear her? Oh, we got a lot of special guests today. Older sibling brought me coffee. Pixel just walked in to, hi Mom, I'm here. So anyway, I really like this last part. Once we start embracing them, it can become a beautiful way to see the world around you. We can choose to live in the darkness and the negativity, or we can choose to fight our way out of it and step into the light. And I know for some people that is a hard thing to do. So, there are some people who struggle with it more than others, and they may not have the support system we have. So if you find that person, hold their light until they're able to hold it again. Be the light for them. I know it's not always easy, and I know it can be hard, but we shouldn't be judging people on their beliefs. We shouldn't be judging people on, where they're, whatever. We shouldn't be judging people, period. And we certainly should not be judging ourselves. All right. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Please, please, please take care of yourselves. I saw extra people came on. So if you're still on, good morning, Tara, and good morning, Diane. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day. I hope everybody has a great day. It's bleeping hot outside today. It's like in the high 70s. Yesterday it was in the high 80s. But these are rolling Santa Anas, we have the Santa Anas rolling through. So the devil's wind, that's what they call it. But yeah, just remember all these things, okay? And if you are watching on Facebook, I'll put the picture of this in the comments that my friend posted, my friend Susan posted. So you'll be able to save it to your phone if you want to. If you're on YouTube, you can go to my Facebook page under Shelly Marie Lucas. I'm not able to always post pictures in there. I will try to type it out. So if you want to save it that way, or you can, like I said, you can go to my Facebook page, and all the lives are public. So you don't have to be friends with me. You can just click on the video, go to the comments, and save it from there. All right. So again, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Please, please, please take care of yourselves. I'll see you back here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, Facebook Live. All lives are public. If you want the shorter version of this, you can go to TikTok, where I will do this again, but without all the stuff from the beginning. Okay, it's just right to the point. So if it's like I call it the on the go, right? Like the to go version of the Aloha perspective. So again, have a great, great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day.